Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my crew, Justice Empowered by Witness and Innocent. Today, we're going to do like a talk show. And for those that don't know me, my name is Herman Lindsey. I'm Florida's 23rd Death Row exoneree. Um, I love doing educational things to educate people on what's going on around uh, in the death penalty and on the death penalty and other situations. Today, we got an announcement that one of the cases in Broward County here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, has decided to drop the death penalty. So we got one case less to deal with as far as the death penalty. So that's a great news today. Um, Today I got a good friend of mine, Gary Drinkard. He welcomed me when I was first coming to witness the innocent, and we had a lot of good times at retreats. Our little conversations and things. So he's a good friend. He's even came to visit me in Florida before. I wish I would have came to Alabama, but I'm too scared of Alabama from where he's from. And when you hear about his story, you'll understand why. So, Gary, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Herman, thanks a lot. Yeah, I remember coming to Fort Lauderdale and seeing you. It was good times. My name's Gary Drinkard. I'm from north central Alabama. In 1993, I was arrested for a capital murder, robbery murder of a junkyard dealer. I was convicted in 1995, sentenced to death to the electric chair. Went to death row, stayed about a little over 5 years, won my appeal. And during the appeal, I was able to contact some decent attorneys that really cared about the case. They cared about me as an individual. And with the investigation and legal expertise, we were able to prove to the jury that I was not the killer, that I was at home during the crime, and that more than likely it was my half sister, who, by the way, was a key witness. That it was more than likely her and her boyfriend that robbed and killed the man. I joined Witness Innocence in 2005, and since then we have went all over the world. I've been to England, I've been to Paris, I've been to Portugal or Brussels, talking about the death penalty, trying to convince people that as for a country as like the United States, we should not have the death penalty. We're supposed to be the most civilized country in the world. Why we still got it? That's my 5 minutes.
Let me unmute. Hello. Okay, so Gary, during our time with Witness to Innocence, we've been involved in a lot of active stuff. You know, we lobbied. We've talked to students. We've talked to some of everybody about educating. But we've seen a lot of progress right now. But I want to talk about today. I want to talk about some of the things about the cases. So, was do you know anything about the Rodney Reed case?
I
Have you?
do. I've been down there a couple of times. Yeah, I've been to Texas a couple of times helping them protest.
Okay, so I want to talk about Rodney Reed case first. Okay, Rodney Reed case was a case where he's a black man messing with a white woman, and here it is. She was also involved with a police officer down there, and she mysteriously got killed. Evidence shows that uh, it was sort of a cahoots with police department, the police officers that was involved in the friends of the boyfriend and things. And now this man is facing uh, uh, of death. We also had a problem with um, what it was Todd Willingham down there a couple of years back in Texas, who they executed when they said that he actually uh, lit the house of fire and killed his family. When years later, the experts and everyone is asking the governor, to stop the execution because they found evidence that the fire was caused by an electrical faulty defect. So what we have down in Texas is a bad situation of not just racism, because the thing about it, Todd Willingham was white and Rodney Reed is black. And so to me, it's a clear case that Texas isn't about mostly the racists, but they're about just lynching people, killing people. Like they got something of a old legend to fulfill. What are your thoughts on Texas and the way they're dealing with this Rodney Reed case and this executions they're doing out
there? It's just a case of kill them all, let God sort them out. I mean, I've been with the Reed family. I've spoken to the brother, to the mother, to the father, and anyone that knew Rodney Reed, that knew the family, they knew he wasn't the killer, and they know who the killer is. And of course, when a good old boy system has a police officer that kills somebody because he was mad that his future wife was messing with a black man, so he kills her, and now he's got to cover it up. So his buddies there to station supposedly even have a tape of it that they destroyed, covers it up. And later on, it's found that he even did time for beating on another woman. For I forget exactly what the crime was, but he did I don't know, something like a 10-year sentence for beating on another woman in another state. And it's just a pattern where this man is harmful to women. I mean, if he don't like what they're doing, he beats them up. If he make him mad, he'll kill him. I mean, and get away with that. That's the sad thing. That's the old mentality. Back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, if you had a murder or something like that and you didn't have any real evidence, you picked up a black man off the street, and here he goes. Coleman, close to where I live, had a sign up until the 70s, and N-word, don't let the sun sit on your ass. And that's the Southern mentality down there.
And you think we used to look at this? I mean, I was born in 70s. I'm still 21 though. I'm born in 72, but I'm still. But I can remember that, one thing and they used to show us in history when you talk about the Black history and stuff like that, how back in the days they used to lynch people, and every time they found out a black man was messing with a white woman, that they would actually charge them and convict them and find a way to convict. A perfect example, here go the movie Just Mercy.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Brian Stevenson.
No, not Brian. Walter McMillan.
Okay.
Walter McMillan got trapped up like that. He got trapped up like that, though. And it's crazy that, in times of these days, they still looking at it like a black and white cannot be together. They make the most beautiful kids. Why they can't be together? I mean, it's just ridiculous of how this racism is taken apart when majority of us don't even participate in racism. We don't participate in racism, but to see our system still participating in racism, man, Gary, that is crazy. Are we living in the modern day 1950s, 1960s, where, or
I believe it. People are just bowing their head and covering it up. I mean, Herman, I'm 66 years old. I grew up in a time where it said colored fountain, white fountain, colored restroom, white restroom. at that time when I was growing up as a child, blacks and whites didn't mix. I mean, you had something over here for the black folks, you had something over here for the white folks, and I didn't know what the hell was going on as a kid, And finally, I went to school through the 11th grade, and I quit my senior year and went and joined the military. And I had never, up until that time, met a black man. Never. I believed all the bullshit mentality that people was spouting. They were inferior. They were crazy. They were smoking marijuana, and they was crazy for white women. I mean, that was the saying these old white hypocrites, these old rednecks would have.
And the thing about
kid,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't realize till I joined the military what garbage it was. And black folks just like us, they folks.
And see, that's the problem. It's raised up, it's brought up in society. People are raised to be prejudiced, and people feel like they have to be a certain way to be accepted. And the thing about it is that for our government, who are the leaders and supposed to protect the people and do what's best for the people of the United States, they had a tendency to actually feed this. Like Trump is ridiculous with this. Trump, if you notice what Trump did before he came out as far as execution, and I thank God that Biden froze all federal executions. Did you realize he turned around and killed 4 people before his elections to say that he's against racism? So the ones he picked out all had racism in their case. Then he wasn't winning. He turned around and did 4 more executions, and most of them was black, including a woman, Lisa Montgomery. And the way it was used and what that was, Arkansas trying to do 8 in 8 days.
Yeah.
That was fucking ridiculous. What? And then South Carolina, they done turned around and brought the gun squad back. I mean, are we going back to, in time here, as far as the death penalty is concerned? Are we going back in time now, back in those racist days and good old boy days?
Well, Herman, the only reason they brought in the lethal injection is because it wasn't as heinous of a way to kill somebody. I mean, the most of them had the electric chair. That is a heinous way. Their heads would catch on fire, their eyeballs would be popping out, and people were raising Cain against that. So they want a less cruel way to kill somebody, and they start the lethal injection. Now that they can't get the drugs, they go kill them any way they can. Alabama's thinking about gas, nitrogen gas or something, some kind of crazy stuff.
But son, Gary, this is what politics is about. They fool the people, manipulate the people by saying, okay, we agree that this is cruel and unusual, so we'll do this type of method, and the people go for it. It's like they changed the statute. It's the same thing. It's homicide. It's murder. The same thing them people are on death row for. That's what the state doing. Murder. I mean, there's no other way. Only difference is that they have a signed paper saying they can do it.
Well, in Alabama, when you get a death certificate, the cause of death reads homicide. It's actually that on the death certificate. This man was killed by homicide.
That's also in Florida. It says homicide. And if we look at the elements of homicide, is that the same as what we're doing with the execution. It cannot be done. But they don't, I don't get it.
They do what they want to, brother. You know that.
I just don't get it, Gary.
I was down there one time. Uh, Another ex-death row man was trying to fight for some compensation in Alabama, and one of the senators asked the state's attorney general, "Well, what's the difference between innocence and not guilty?" There's no innocent verdict, but the attorney general told him, well, when you're not guilty, they just didn't have enough evidence to prove he's guilty.
Yeah, but see, that's the same thing they say about us once we get exonerated. You know,
Yeah.
once we're exonerated, we still have to go through the scrutiny with these state attorneys, realizing they got the wrong person and going to pursue the wrong person. Instead they say, well, we had the right person, but we just didn't have enough evidence. Yeah. And then, you know, the evidence proved that DNA shows that somebody else did it. They still say we still ain't got enough evidence because I mean, this is ridiculous, bro. And they go to all these years of college to prosecute, you know, they go through all these years of college to prosecute, and none of it shows common sense. So I guess they deleted the class of common sense out of.
I believe they go to those years of college to learn how to lie, because they learn how to lie very well. I mean, they could.
No, because I went through my bachelor's degree for legal studies, and that's basically sort of like what lawyers have to go through. In fact, it teaches us to be ethical. It teaches us that we need to seek justice. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what we think or what we feel, we have to seek justice, and we have to seek justice in the proper way. We have to follow the procedures. We have to, you know, so it doesn't teach you to say, okay, if you feel that they're guilty and you can't prove it, jump and lie on them and put evidence on it. You know, it doesn't say that. It doesn't
where
say
did it go
that.
wrong? Where does it go wrong, Herman? I mean, the prosecutors,
where
they
it went
become
wrong,
prosecutors. Where does it go wrong?
where it went wrong is the person that's raised, because we have a lot of people that's actually good prosecutors right now, today. You know, we have a lot of prosecutors that is not sitting back tolerating this type of stuff no more. They're actually going, filing complaints and things like that on fellow state attorneys and trying to get their system. You have people that's been elected as state attorneys now that's actually trying to make it right inside their office and don't allow their assistant state attorneys to just do anything.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree with that.
We have greater state attorneys. It's just like police officers. You know, let's talk about police brutality and police killing people. You know, the thing I hate about it is that we're hearing about how many blacks being killed by the police, but if you look at the reports, a large numbers of Latinos are being killed by the police, and a lot of whites are being killed by the police. But you're not hearing about those cases, and that's why you're not hearing about the cases, because politics won't everybody to feed into this racism stuff.
Right.
They want people to fell into the racism stuff. And why, I don't know, but they got a bigger plan for it. And most of the people in society feed into it.
Oh,
you know, I have no disrespect to Black Lives Matter, but I would really want to see that sign say all lives matter.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like this is not just happening to just blacks. You know, like I said at the beginning, Todd Willingham was a white, and there's plenty more whites that been executed that was that's I believe is innocent also. You know,
I agree.
But I think that when people are raised a certain way, such as yourself at the beginning, you weren't introduced to blacks, so you was fed all of this stuff here. And I feel like when it's fed like that in a family, and as they grow and it's keep being fed in the family, that racism gonna stay alive. But if every person that I've seen, that I've known that was a racist, and I've met, you know, after a brief conversation with them, man, it's like we cool. They don't even think the same. You know, it's like you scared of you scared of a lizard. You scared of a lizard because people say so much about this lizard. But then when you grab a lizard and you play with it, and you see the lizard is just as friendly and nice, you know, you're not fearful
Yeah,
of
they
that.
can't hurt you.
You
It's
know,
not gonna hurt you if it bites.
I think
you talking about the prosecutors bringing up those integrity units and stuff like that. There's a couple of prosecutors in Missouri, new prosecutors. They instigated integrity units in their organization, and one in Jackson County found that Kenneth Strickland, who had done 42 years, he's doing life without parole for a 1979 triple murder. They found he wasn't guilty. But the state's attorney general fought the case when the prosecutor tried to tell the governor and the legislators that you need to turn this man loose. He's not guilty. But the state's attorney general fought it, said there's no appeal left. You can't bring any type of appeal like this forward because they've all been used up. And another case in Missouri, it's not a death penalty case, but still it's an innocence case. Lamar Johnson, he is convicted in 1994 of a murder. And again, the prosecutor had made an integrity unit and found out this man was innocent, that the police had coerced a witness, had even paid the witness thousands of dollars to lie. The prosecutor found this out. The governor could pardon him. Why don't he? But the state's attorney general is fighting against it. And I don't understand it. These men are clearly innocent, but state's attorney general's fighting against it, and the governor's sitting there like a knot on a log.
And you know the sad part about it, all of these people that's in office now half of the time the case don't affect them. And it don't affect them. They wasn't involved.
Right.
But here it is, you done got put in the office and it didn't affect you. It didn't happen on your watch. But you would not correct it on your watch.
Well, they're trying to. I know a lot of them is trying to.
And I mean, Julius Jones case is another case over there in Oklahoma. You know, young man fighting for his life. And what I hate about that case is this is a prime case that's similar to mine, where he let a friend stay the night at his house. His friend slept in the attic. His friend got there late. Now, his friend is the main witness in his case.
Oh, man.
Which shows that the gun was found the same place the friend was sleeping at. And it's other evidence in there that pertains that look like the state key witness is actually the perpetrator.
Right.
And it's like they see this, but they got testimony from other people, cellmates and things like that, that the state witness admitting that he's the one who committed the crime.
Right.
But when it's not working for the state, it's no good. But if it's working, if it's for the defense, they fight it and they say it's no good. They make it seem like a person that got a criminal record or this and that is the worst person to testify. But what stops them from telling the truth? What stops them from telling the truth? People convicted of felons before can tell the truth. They witness something, but it's only they tell the truth if they testify for the state, not the defense. And that's the way prosecutors make the biggest mistake.
If they're testifying for the state, then they're telling the truth. But if they're testifying negatively toward the state, then they're lying. That's just absolutely amazing to me. And I'm gonna one up you on that witness. The witness in my case was my half sister. Gets stopped for some type of traffic incident, gets caught with cocaine, goes to the police and tell them I robbed and killed a man, so she can get out of her little cocaine up.
And like I say, my favorite words, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
it
crazy.
is.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, Gary, we can go on and on with this show, and one day I'm gonna sit here and start making a little more videos with exonerees, and we just get here and chop it up about cases. Cause I really enjoy talking to you like we're doing. It, it I mean, people don't understand how it feels to be on death row, and
No,
people
it
really
messed with my head bad.
people don't get involved unless it's happened to them or a friend of theirs or a
It
relative.
affects them in some kind of way.
And they hear our stories. Some people hear our stories and they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry what happened to you," but yet you don't do shit about it. You don't join our organization. You don't get our newsletter. You don't contribute to the cause. You don't try to educate people and tell people about these type of things. It's a lot of controversy in this advocacy work, but the thing about it is that we gonna win. We gonna win. We gonna abolish
I
the
hope
death
I'm alive to see it, but I believe we will.
Well, see, that's the thing. The good thing about us is that we are hoping to see it. But one thing about it, our work, we're paving the way for those that has to come behind us.
Right.
We lost a lot of good soldiers during this fight. We a lot of good soldiers that contribute heavily, and it kind of hurts thinking about them right now. But we continue to fight. We continue to fight, and we continue to go on. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring the show to an end. But I do want people, and I always challenge people to go on our website, witnessinnocent.org. Sign up for the newsletters. Let me see something. Let me see that people are really paying attention to this show and really getting something out of this show. Go to the Witness Innocent website and give us your opinion. Tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. Show us that you're getting involved, that our educational process is working. You can hit me at, I think it's Herman at witnessinnocent.org. 1 minute, I'll tell you what my email is there. And you could email me personally, and if it's some news information that you want to update with us, or share, let us share it in our newsletter. We'd love to share some things in our newsletter to help people become better and better aware. And that's what this process is. So 1 second.
Well, it was good talking to you, brother. I might come down to Fort Lauderdale and check you out.
Yeah, come in the summertime. I'm gonna take your behind on that jet ski. But as I was saying, my email at Witness to Innocence is hlindsey@witnessinnocent.org. hlindsey@witnessinnocent.org. If you watch this video, hit me up with an email just to tell me if you're getting something out of it, if you enjoy it, just some feedback on it, please. Also, check out our website at witnessinnocent.org. And also, if you can, I know the COVID is over with and things like that. We're always taking donations, because what you don't understand, your donations help with exonerees that's going through problems such as financial, mental health, may need
it's
medical.
helping us get out there and fight.
And it's helping us to get out there and put more programs out there to educate others. So with that said, I want to thank everybody, and I thank Witness Innocent Board, our executive director, Kirk Bloodworth. I thank our staff behind us, and y'all doing a great job. And I say so long to everyone.